Our company is called Power, and it's an entertainment brand company with games at its core. However, our backgrounds were from animation. We made a transition into games producing, mainly because entertainment has changed a lot in the past few years since mobiles and tablets were introduced, and as that's grown, the habits and behaviours, viewing habits and behaviours of young audiences in particular, because that's our space, has changed unrecognisably, and we wanted to make entertainment that was sensitive to those changes.
And can you tell me a little bit about the game?
Okay, so the game is called Ship Antics, and I suppose it's not a game, it's a brand, and we're using the game as the market entry point to try and build our brand. So it's a story world that we first created with lots of great, really endearing, lovable characters. The main characters are Fred, Amanda and Otto, and they live on a boat called the Barnacle, which through necessity, because Fred's a bit of a kind of leap before he looks type person, he's lost his crew, they've walked out of him, he's got heavily in debt by a loan shark. So with mother being the what is it? It's the phrase? Necessity being the mother of invention. He sets the school up. He sets the Barnacle up as a school, and he has to bring in this ragtag bunch of students because it doesn't really have a reputation in the school. So he gets the worst students going, and the stories are kind of built out around that world and just the kind of zany stuff that goes on the Barnacle and the world that the Barnacle visits. The main characters are Fred and Amanda and Otto, and really Amanda and Otto, we focus a lot on their relationship. It's progressed kind of interestingly. We were, I suppose, just a tiny bit ahead maybe of some companies that started Sprint, in that we had some follow-on investment, in terms of we got enough investment to start working and produce our game. So when we started Sprint, we were already in production of our game. So we've very much still been doing that. The game's just coming to a close now. We're going to be launching it in July. But in the past 6 months, I changed focus a bit on how we viewed who our customer was, and started to look at a more B2B to C kind of relationship. So the past 6 months I've spent a lot of time trying to build that and understand that and talk to B2B customers or potential B2B customers, and that's progressed very nicely. We've made some interesting partnerships around connected toys and around TV, and starting to build up the partners around the extensions to the brand after the game has been released. So the first one was that we made the decision to kind of look more to become more of a B2B business than a B2C business, and so my biggest takeaway was actually being able to spend the time using the techniques that we were shown on Sprint to try and build up that B2B side, customer base, and now we've kind of got those skills. We've learned a lot of skills from Sprint, and as the game's launched, I'm actually going to be able to apply them. I haven't really applied a lot of them yet, it's just timing really, and I'm interested in seeing how that's going to pan out. So one of the things we're going to do, which we learned in Sprint, was the smoke test, and because our game is out in July, we're going to do a big mass email of a promotion that the game has been launched, but all about B2B customers, and we're going to try and hook them in and see what kind of interest we can get out of that. So